everybody. This is Modern Monday #1, the redo. I was not happy how that first video turned out, you know, with lighting and focus and everything else, and I'm hoping this is going to be better. So what I'm going to do is go over how I paint these Cold War Soviet T-72s. So what I do, because these are 3D prints, I use a sandable automotive primer, either black or gray, and I give it a really good coat, and then I give them a base color coat of army green. And you can use, there's tons of army greens out there. Tamiya makes them, Testers makes them, Krylon makes one. In Canada, there's Beauty Tone that makes a camo spray paint for green. Then what I do is I'll take a Nuln oil. All the paints and stuff that I'll be using in this video are all GW paints. The reason for that is most gamers have GW paints, and I get people asking which colors did I use and all this kind of stuff. So I've tried to keep it really basic. I use Vallejo mainly. I have a lot of Vallejo, but not everybody has access to Vallejo. Most game stores, they have Games Workshop paints. So I've tried to keep it in that. Am I going to do that with every video? No, probably not. But for this video, I kept it simple. So I've used Nuln oil, a really good covering of Nuln oil onto the tanks. And then what I've done is I've gone in with Wog Flesh, which is one of the Citadel base colors. And what I've done, and I'm just going to, this is going to be a lot faster video than the previous one, because I went through everything. What I do is I panel paint. So, you know, with these hatches, I'm just hitting the hatches. Okay. And what I'll do is I will do still paint it so that you can still see the black in the green undercoat through, but I'm trying to get all the raised panels and surfaces like that. And move this out of the way here. And so I will then go and I'll just hit the surfaces. And I'm not covering the whole thing, but I am giving it so you can see some of it shining through. Okay. And that's, and you can still see that there are basically just coloring the panels, and I'm leaving and I'm not doing like just solid color. I'm doing some so that the undercoat of the spray green and the black wash shine through or show through, and I'm just coloring the tops and stuff like that. On the front plate, I'll paint the detail like that. And with these, I don't paint the bogey wheels. I leave them the way they are because it looks like the black wash has gone around, so it looks like the rubber around the bogey wheels. And also, I am going to be putting on a good generous coat of dry brushing, not generous coat, but a dry brush of different browns, so it makes it look like the tracks are covered in mud, and then a light dusting of another color, which we will get to next. So that's what I do. This is not done, but that's the basic gist of it. And I do the same thing on the turret. Okay, and so what happens, I'll just move these to the side, is we get, let's move that forward, like that. So you can still see the black and the darker green, but then you have that lighter green on top. Okay, so after that stage, I'll wash my brush here. What I usually do is take Mornfang brown, which is like a reddy brown. Okay, and what I do with that, I'll show in this one here. Take the turret off, and what I do is I paint the tracks. If I get a little bit of brown on the bogey wheels, that's just going to show us up as mud. Oops. And hopefully this is showing up on the camera really well. Okay, and then what I'll do is once I've got a good portion of it on the tracks there, I go up the bogey wheels just a little bit, lightly. Same with up the mud guards and up the side of the tank and up the back of the tank. And then a little bit up the front. And I just do it lightly. Okay. Let's move that up. And you can see the brown. Okay. So once I get that done, what I do is I come along with the Wren Forest, which is a lighter green, and you can use other colors. I've seen other colors, and there's a canvas covering right by on the turret, and what I do is I just go in there and just to make it look like the canvas coloring, I do a lighter green there. And another thing I usually do is also just get this snorkel and just give it a little bit lighter green too, just so it stands out a little bit better. That's it for that part. And at this point, I pull out Skull White. And I'm hand painting on letters and numbers. I could have gotten decals, and I might get decals later, but right now I'm just painting on something so I can identify the tanks and stuff. And so I've painted on letters and numbers. Some are better than others because it's freehand. And then what I've done is I've painted the light cover white, and then I've painted a red star on it. I'm not necessarily going to do that with all of them, but with these ones, just so give it a little bit extra color, I do that. Okay, and then one of the last stages, besides a matte varnish, well, I take Agrax Earthshade after the letters and numbers and stuff are all dry, and I put a thin coat of Agrax Earthshade over top of them just to dirty them up a little bit, and then I let it dry. And then what I do is take Xandri dust, take it on a big flat brush, or any kind of dry brush that you use. And what I do is I get most of the paint off of it, and then I take it and I just lightly give the tank a light dusting of Xandri dust. And I give the turret just a light dusting as well. And there you go, guys. Besides, the only thing left is a matte varnish. And we've got a very fast 10 mil 3D printed T-72. So I've got like a company of these I'm doing right now. So I've got 4 done. This one will be 5. So I got 5 more to do. Maybe I have... No, I only have 4 left to do. Miscounted. So once I get these done, then I'm on to these SA-8 geckos. Some anti-aircraft defense. And then BDRM2s and probably some APCs and stuff like that. So for now, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this. If it's helpful, I hope you can use this painting technique for other scales as well. I'm just keeping it simple, something simple. Most Soviet tanks at that age or that era, plain green. Very very little camouflage that I've found in my research and stuff like that. So that's it for now. So this is my redo of Modern Monday #1. I'm not sure if I'm going to take the other one down. I might just leave it just to make sure I never do that again without testing the lighting and the cameras and everything beforehand. Okay guys, thanks, and I'll be back.